Welcome back to Glenagorse Park. Easykart Masters is up next, and taking part as a guest driver this weekend is the 2008 champion, now living out in Dubai. It's Ollie George. Martin spoke to him a little bit earlier in the day.
Ollie, Easykart Masters champion 2008. What are you up to now and where are you racing?
Since 2008, I went to Dubai a couple of years later, so I've been there for 5 years now, working in construction. In the Middle East, I've been racing in the UAE Rotax Max Challenge, so I've been doing that for 4 years. We actually been running the Burrell team out there as well. So,
and, racing out in Dubai, what are the facilities like out in Dubai?
They're very good. It's very well developed. We've got Dubai Kart Drome, which is a fantastic facility. We have Al Ain Raceway, which has hosted the Rotax Max World Championships twice. We have Yas, the Formula One track, which we also host a round on. And then there's a new track just north of Dubai, which is will be used this year.
And out in Dubai, is there any competitors who sort of stand out from the rest?
The competition's tough. We have Sean Babington, who lives out there now in Dubai, and he races in DD2. So it's really helped raise a profile. And also there's a lot of drivers who've moved out from the UK, who've raced here, and now also race in Dubai.
And you're back this weekend though, so how have you found the experience so far this weekend?
Brilliant, yeah, love it. I've raced for a long time, and Easykart's the best thing. I think it's one of the best classes out there, really.
And who's impressed you so far this weekend?
I had a few problems yesterday, so I wasn't paying too much attention, but I think Ben Yeomans has been mentioned as being quick. Obviously Joe Patterson, last year's champion. Kieran Gordon, I heard, was quick, so yeah, got a few people to...
All right, and well, good luck with today.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Well, champion 7 years ago, he starts P17 today. Lots to do. Like these guys: Joe Patterson, Ben Yeomans, Kieran Gordon, Adam Nichols, Sam Fisher and Mark Lawrence fill out the top 6, with Friday, Richardson, Port and Mills rounding out the top 10. Keep an eye on Ollie George though. I'm sure it won't take him too long to get back up to speed. Let's watch the start. Good getaway there, and already trying to fight his way through to the front. Adam Nichols there had a little bit of a look to sweep up into second position. Didn't quite get the move stuck. Here's George Friday on board, having a look up in front of Joe Richardson, but he's got somebody to his left there. He's going to try and hold it on the inside line. Very nicely done. He didn't get panicked, he just let the move happen, and he's now tucked up behind Mark Lawrence as well. Those two battling away for position. So out in front, it is the number 1, who's also, don't forget, the E-plate holder, Joe Patterson. He is out in front, commanding, as he has done so many times in the 2015 season. But he has got a very determined pack just on the tail of him. So let's talk you through. Patterson out in front. Gordon now second position in front of Yeomans. If we look a little bit further back, Fisher and Nichols getting very close together there. Look, Adam Nichols putting Fisher under pressure. Then Lawrence, Richardson, Friday, Port, Ogle, Ben Nichols next. Then Dimolo, Elboth, Mills, Knowles, Lester, Hill. Ollie George is in behind. Then Steve Nichols, and then at the back it is Thomas Dandridge. We're on board with Friday again as they break for the spoon. He closes up on the 210 of Richardson once more. But out in front, no change. It's still the E plate and the number 1 plate, Joe Patterson. He currently chooses to race with number 1. Now, we thought that at round 4, he was not going to be racing because he was supposed to be at his sister's wedding. His sister was getting married to his mechanic. So we wondered, that third round at Landau, where he had that mishap and he ended up losing a lap due to cutting the chicane, has that enforced him to miss his sister's wedding? Is there going to be some family controversy as a result of that? Well, we'll find out probably on the next edition of Jeremy Kyle. But anyway, Joe Patterson out in front, leading comfortably. Has his racing become more of a priority than his family commitments? Interesting that. Mark Lawrence, though, the number 9, the Edinburgh-based driver, running in the top 6. 50 years of age, ladies and gentlemen. That just goes to show you are never too old to race in the Easykart world. And not only is he a 50-year-old racing against guys who are half his age, he's in the top 6 and competing on an even playing field. Brilliant stuff. Kieran Gordon, 19 years of age. He's the man who won at Glenagorse Park last year, don't forget. Yellow flags at turn 1. Now, that's a stationary yellow flag. So that's not immediate danger, that's be careful because something has happened up ahead, and we have lost 3 drivers on the same lap. Ben Nichols, Tim Hill and Matt Ogle all appear to have gone on the same lap. So has there been a coming together? I'm not sure, we didn't see it, so we'll just have to assume that all 3 of them are gone at the same place. Down the hill and into the inside line. That is Richardson again having a go to move up past Lawrence, but he hasn't quite managed to get the move done. We're on board with Friday once again as they make their way through the compression complex. Look how much time you're able to make up there if you get the first apex right. He's already gained about 2 or 3 kart lengths just on the way through. Patterson still out in front, second place Gordon and third place Yeomans. They're starting to get away from Nichols, who has now moved up to 4th position. Very good move from him, finished second in both the A finals at rounds 3 and 4 this year, so he is very much a podium contender throughout this season, very much in the hunt for the championship too. But when we're talking about championship fights, the man who is in the lead, Joe Patterson, we know of old, of course, that John Viger is absolutely adamant that he will not be champion in 2015. I think I've worked out, actually, why he may have missed his sister's wedding at round 4. I think he wants to type out the words Joe Patterson will not be champion in 2015 onto a piece of paper, put it on a plate with a knife and fork, give it to John Viger at the last round and go, there you go, mate, tuck in. Because Joe Patterson right now is absolutely romping out in front again. The gap is not as big as he'd like it in these early stages, but already he looks convincing enough to hold this lead to the flag here at Glenegor's Park. And if you do it once, you'll do it again and do it again, as he has done so many times this year. Only Landau really has been his blip. But the way that the championship points work is you drop 3 scores in the season: your worst heat, your worst pre-final, and your worst final. Now, he's going to drop, at the moment, he would drop his heat and final from Landau and his pre-final from round 1. So he needs to continue on doing what he does best at the front to really command this championship like he wants to, which isn't going to be easy, to be fair, because this is the most competitive championship in Easykart this season, because there's at least 5 drivers who can take it, Patterson being 1, the 2 men right behind him being 2 more, and then you have to add Adam Nichols, who's in 4th position, and Sam Dimelo, who's actually fighting his way back through the field in that mix as well. But if Patterson stays where he is out in front, he's got a great chance of leaping into at least 3rd position, possibly even higher than that, depending on where the others run. You have to remember, of course, in this program, we actually list the championship points before dropped scores, so we don't take that into account until the very end of the season. If you do want to see what the championship looks like with dropped scores taken into account, then head to the Easykart website, easykart.co.uk. You'll find all the info there. George Friday watching Richardson up the inside of Lawrence. I don't think Lawrence is going to settle for that. He's going to try to come straight back on the inside, and Friday says, cheers buddy, you've used way too much curve there. I'll just zoom straight up the inside and get back on terms with Joe. Brilliant opportunistic move there from Friday. Unfortunately, Lawrence really let him go, but look out who's behind them now. That is Sam Dimelo, 1 place behind Friday. He managed to get past Lawrence as well. And don't forget, Dimelo is a man who has a huge role to play in the championship fight. He is currently around the top 3. He probably will still be there at the end of this round if he makes up more places, but it is so close. I genuinely don't know how to call this championship. 5 incredible drivers, very close in terms of 1 lap pace. Patterson out in front, wants to be the man to do so. He won the final at round 2. He won the final at round 4. He could go for his 3rd of the season here if he just hangs on in front, but that's not going to be easy. Up the inside comes Dimelo, on the inside of Friday. Take care, mate. Nice racing with you. Briefly, I'm off. Absolutely disciplined driving there from Dimelo. Totalitarian. He just wants to get through this field and charge his way back through to the front. He's got a lot of work to do, to be fair, but he is getting on with it. Not sure he'll quite reach the front, but he's certainly going to make up useful points in the championship. And when it's as close as it currently is, every single point counts. I've known some championships go down to the wire with only a couple of points separated between 1st, 2nd and 3rd. And you have to say, if any championship in Easykart UK is going to end that way, it's this one. Great battle for 2nd place still, as Gordon desperately tries to hang on in front of Ben Yeomans. These 2 have got on with the job very quietly this year. They've continued to be consistent. They've both seen the checkered flag first this year. Kieran Gordon won the pre-final at Clay Pigeon last time out. Ben Yeomans won the pre-final and the final at Landau. So they're both very much in contention to close in on this man, Joe Patterson. But at the moment, in this race, they're going to have to find something pretty special. Adam Nichols there in 4th position. He's trying to keep with them, but he seems to be falling away from the pace as well. And unfortunately, look, 4th position on his own. He's in no man's land, trying to chase down this man, the man from Bexley Heath, Ben Yeomans, but he just can't get onto the back of him. It's so difficult when you're on your own in the middle of nowhere. You just kind of have to let the pace come and hope that you're going to get dragged along in the queue. But unfortunately, He's not going to get that done so far. Dimolo attacking again. This is for 5th position. The 210 just in front. That is Joe Richardson. Back towards the leaders once again. They're still not quite able to close in on the leader. This must be so frustrating when you're in a fight for the championship. You're trying to battle your way for every single race, and it just isn't coming his way at the moment. Here's Friday on board, looking towards Dimolo. Now again, this is a great chance for Friday to just follow every move Dimolo makes here and go through the field at the same moment as Sam Dimolo. Is he going to get the move done here on Joe Richardson? Up the hill they go, up towards the spoon curve. Is this going to be Dimolo up the inside? He's not quite going to be close enough this time. He's going to have to wait until the carousel for a move on Richardson. Oh dear, Oliver George out of the race, the man from Dubai. Champion 7 years ago. No silverware this weekend. Sad to see him retire. But back at the front, it is going to be this battle continuing on. Again, this is the same sort of situation we saw in the lightweight race, because the man sitting in 3rd position does not want to be there too close to the end of the race. Yeomans is going to step up this attack on Kieran Gordon as much as he can. You've got to hand it to the man in 4th place right now, Adam Nichols. He is trying every single trick in the book to get closer to these two, but it is so difficult when there's a gap been made between yourself and the man in front and a massive gap to the back, the man behind. He is really struggling there to keep close. We're back on board with Friday. Dimolo has a look at Richardson and can't get there. And as a result, Friday closes up and Dimolo looks back and goes, right, this isn't quite as easy as I first thought it was going to be. So he was a bit humbled there with Sam Dimolo. He's still got the tools to get the job done, I believe. So he could still make his way into 5th position behind this quartet. Out in front, Patterson looks to have this 1-1 already. The gap is not huge, but crucially, it's big enough. He's out of the tow, he's out of danger, he just needs to keep running on in his own race. 5th position, the 2-3-3, on his own as well, Sam Fisher. But this is the battle for 6th place. Richardson in front of Dimolo. He's got time to get past Richardson for 6th and then close up on the 2-3-3 of Fisher. Can Dimolo get past this time? He has a look to the inside. Nope, he's not close enough yet, so through the carousel. 1 apex, 2 apexes, and back up through the compression. This is a triple header. Right. Hang it out again, slightly wider, right, and then tuck in for this 3rd right. Bit of a slide there from Richardson, currently sitting in 6th place. Made up 2 places, but now he's got Sam Dimolo, championship competitor, right on his tail here. This is going to be such a difficult position to hang on to. He's got 3 of them snapping on his heels, not just Dimolo, because right behind him is Friday, and on his tail is Mark Lawrence. So this is a great battle for 6th position, and the man in trouble here, effectively, is Joe Richardson. Is Dimolo going to be able to go for him this time? I think that last lap was a setup move. He was learning whether he could or not. Decides not to this time. So it's stalemate at the moment in the battle for 6th place. But this man, once again, looking commanding for his 3rd final victory of the season. Patterson is looking very strong here. And as the laps count down, he's just enjoying himself out in front. How many times can a driver in the battle for the championship have such a commanding lead, especially when it's as close as this? He's not had plenty of opportunities to dominate this year, but he has taken every single one of them. And he is looking so much stronger in this second half of the championship than he was at the start. It's great to see him turn that dial around. And now he's put himself into a very strong position. Before drop scores, he's definitely looking for 3rd position here. If Dimolo doesn't get by, then he's looking definitely at the top 3. On drop scores, he'd actually be leading the championship if it stays like this. And when you're dominating that far out in front, it's a very comfortable place to be. Look at that, the length of the straight between 1st and 2nd place. As he drives on up the hill, Patterson is probably thinking to himself at this point, what ink tastes the worst to give to John Viger at the end of the season? Up the inside now, great battle between these two. Richardson and Dimolo. Friday's going to get the move. He's run out of road. That was so close. And on that speed, 2 wheels on the grass, the kart can do anything at that point. It can spit sideways. It can cannon into the side of your rival. He was lucky there. Friday managed to save that one. So back to the battle for 2nd position, and it's still stalemate between these two. Gordon and Yeomans, they're pretty much level in terms of 1 lap pace. But Yeomans is exactly where he doesn't want to be. He doesn't want to be in third place, sat behind him. He wants to make this move, but he doesn't quite look close enough to be able to get that move done, and there's 4 laps to go. It's now or never, really. He looks behind him. Where's Adam Nichols? He's actually closer to these two than he has been in previous laps, so Nichols is actually stepping up the attack again to try and reel these two in. We may get a 3-kart battle for 2 spots on the podium again. Patterson, though, absolutely flawless. This is just a commanding drive. Absolutely perfect. Not a wheel wrong at the moment. And the number 1 is exactly where he deserves to be right now. Number 1, P1. Gordon and Yeomans, though, still scrapping over that second position. I have to say, though, I think Kieran Gordon's got this one. Can't see Yeomans closing him up, I'm afraid. Be good for the battle and the spirit of sport and competition if he could, but I just don't see him reeling that gap in with 3 laps to go. Oh, it looks like Nichols has got a problem. Adam Nichols, it looks as though he's in trouble now. He looks behind him at the kart, and there's clearly a technical malady. Adam Nichols has been working so hard to close up. Now, has he pulled off the circuit, or is he going to try and get it back to the pits? Certainly looks to me, though, as though Adam Nichols has got a serious issue with the kart. He's slowed on the way up the hill, and he has fallen away from those two. Actually, in the last lap or so, Kieran Gordon has dropped the hammer now. He's started to pull away from Yeomans even further. So as we go into the penultimate lap, I think Kieran Gordon, with that last flying lap, has just bought himself second position. Oh, look at Patterson up on the curb. The kart lands on the tarmac. So much commitment. He is pulling away. He doesn't want to just dominate. I think he wants to rub everybody's faces in it here. He's doing a brilliant job. Down the hill once again, up towards the carousel. Closing in on back markers. This is a man in his element at the moment. Now let's try and look back and see what's happened to Nichols. Has he pulled off the circuit, or was it just a temporary glitch? We'll have to keep an eye on that one. No, he is still there. I just saw him, so he is still there, but unfortunately he has now fallen away from the battle for the podium. So it looks as though no chance of third position at all now. Into the final lap then comes Patterson. Gordon in second, Yeomans in third. And it looks to me as though that is the way it's going to stay. Fastest lap, Ben Yeomans, a 43.120. Not that Patterson needs to set the fastest lap. When you've got that big a lead, you may as well just cruise. So, last couple of back markers. In fact, that is a back marker moving aside, waving him through. Very nice there from the 206, I think that is, of Ross Lester. And up the top of the hill, the number 1 and the E-plate. He could choose to wear either one, but no surprises. He's chosen number 1, and that's exactly what he is today. Through the right, through the left, and into the final turn. Ladies and gentlemen, give that man a lollipop. Brilliant drive from Joe Patterson, and he's already celebrating. Gordon comes through for second. Yeomans is through to third position. And how about that? Handshakes down the straight. Well done, mate. Couldn't beat you today. 4th place, Nichols does get there, and Dimolo gets 5th. Now, that's critical for the championship. By my calculations, Patterson and Dimolo, before drop scores, are now tying for third position behind the 2 championship leaders. It couldn't be closer. Patterson wins from Gordon and Yeomans. Nichols in 4th. Fisher, Dimolo, Richardson, Lawrence, Friday and Port round out the top 10. So, Joe Patterson reflecting on an absolutely dominant display at GYG.
Qualifying, let's start from the beginning of the day. Qualifying, and we saw Ben Yeomans. I mean, he was quick yesterday. I think we all knew that. And he put in that ballistic lap time, 3 tenths quicker than yours, half a second quicker than the rest of the field. I mean, how did you feel after that? Did you think you could make that up in racing?
Yeah, we always know we're going to be quicker in racing. We'll always go better in the races anyway. But we knew if we put a bit of pressure on him or get a jump start on him on the first lap, we knew with our consistency, we know we'll be able to pull away, and not necessarily in the heat, but in the pre. I think that's shown, and that's why we're always at the front, because we always keep it consistent and maintain the gap.
No, absolutely. No, I think it really was. I think that was the poignant moment in today's racing, and for the rest of the day. It was that jump you made on Ben. Real good move, actually, to take the lead in the heat, and you commanded that position pretty much for the rest of the day, didn't you?
Yeah. Like I say, all I knew was if we get the lead on the first lap, and we know we go for consistency, and. Like I say, if we look in our final, we'll be 2 tenths between each lap, and that's what makes us get the gap. Not necessarily outright speed, but consistency is obviously the main thing what we do here.
Absolutely, yeah, and certainly not as exciting as what we witnessed at Clay Pigeon. I mean, I know that you just ran away with the win there, but it was a terrific race behind you, as you've probably heard about. But today was a very professional job done, I think, and didn't leave me for much to talk about on the microphone. But yes, as you say, it was a real professional job. So well done indeed to yourself. And Wilton Mill double header. Wilton Mill, one of your favourites?
No, not really. We seem to be okay there, or quick there, but it's not one of my favourites. But we'll just try our best, and I know where we should be, or I know we'll be on the podium, unless something happens. But I'm confident in me and John that we can keep winning and take your words back from yourself, and we'll take the third championship on the trot.
So Patterson's message to John Viger: bring the salt and pepper to Buckmore Park. 27 points covered the top 5 drivers in this championship. It could still go anybody's way, but it's Yeomans from Nichols, Patterson, Dimolo and Gordon. Great racing here at Glenegor's Park. We sadly missed the next round of the championship, the double header at Wilton Mill, but it'll be showdown time when we return at Buckmore Park at the end of the season. 4 titles and only 4 champions can be crowned.